Future Past is the name of the new movie that I'm going to review. Let me just say that I grew up really liking the X-Men movies. I mean, I watched the cartoon from the 90s, so I like the X-Men in that, and I like the first two movies, and then, sometimes dreams have to die. X-Men 3, The Last Stand, was one of the worst pieces of shit I've ever taken. I mean, seen. But seriously, that was a painful turd. Really, Brett Ratner, why did you ruin my childhood like that? But I have to say, X-Men 3 made me into a critic. So I guess I can thank that movie for that. I was like, wow, this is wrong. Why'd you kill off Cyclops? Why'd you kill him off screen in such a lame way? Why'd you kill off everybody? Why'd you take away everybody's powers unless their name is Wolverine or Storm? So that sucked. Then X-Men Origins Wolverine came out. Guess what? I didn't watch it for years because X-Men 3 put such a bad taste in my mouth. When I finally got around to see X-Men Origins Wolverine, it was a piece of shit. God damn it. Maybe not as disappointing as X-Men 3 because the expectations were already really low. But it's still a piece of shit. Really? That sewed up Deadpool's mouth? That doesn't even make sense. The merc with the mouth? Ha ha ha, funny. You sewed up his mouth. Not funny. Anyway, what do we get? X-Men First Class after that. X-Men First Class was a pretty decent flick. It was pretty cheesy, but I guess the first two X-Men movies were pretty cheesy too, so it fit. It was a decent reboot. At least I thought it was going to be a reboot, because it seemed like, man, how does this fit with the other X-Men movies? I know they got Hugh Jackman as a cameo, but Emma Frost being younger in the 70s and Origins Wolverine and just that kind of stuff. How is Cyclops in high school in the 70s when he's like, what, late 20s and in the early 2000s? So yeah, that was stupid shit. So so the old X-Men movies, they had some problems. Wolverine came out last year. It was alright. I wasn't a huge fan of the ending. I thought it was kind of a generic action kind of ending. But it was alright. But this movie kicks all the other X-Men movies' asses. This movie is hella tight. You got Hugh Jackman back as Wolverine. You've got Ian McKellen back as Magneto, old Magneto. You've got Patrick Stewart back as old Xavier. You've got Ellen Page back as Juno. I mean Kitty Pryde. You've got Shawn Ashmore back as Bobby Drake / Iceman. You got some new characters that don't really get developed at all. Except maybe Boulevard Trask. Yeah, I gotta say, most of the new characters don't really do much of interest, except maybe Boulevard Trask, played by Peter Dinklage, who was actually really good. You got young Xavier, played by James McAvoy. Young Magneto, played by Michael Fassbender, who is really amazing at playing villains. Holy shit, is he scary as hell. Jennifer Lawrence, Katniss, is back as Mystique. And, what's his name is back as Beast. I don't remember the actor's name, I'm sorry. But yeah, it's actually a really entertaining movie. Oh, you also got Quicksilver. Quicksilver's the other new mutant that gets some decent screen time, I guess. He gets some cool scenes. They hint at his past. Quicksilver was actually really cool in this, and I thought he was going to suck. And I was like, man, they got Quicksilver in two different universes. They got the X-Men Quicksilver, and they got Avengers Quicksilver coming out next year. And of course, Joss Whedon's going to do Quicksilver better. Man, I don't know. Quicksilver was pretty good in here. Had some cool scenes. Now, I gotta be honest, I'm not a huge X-Men comic book reader, but was it just me, or did Quicksilver seem an awful lot like the Flash? And I'm not just talking about his super speed. He reminded me of Wally West in terms of personality. I don't think Wally West was a thief, but he definitely had that sort of fast-talking, wise-ass nature to him. But, yeah. Good stuff. So, uh, the movie's cool. You get the post-apocalyptic future that looks like Terminator. You get your 70s mutant action with Richard Nixon, everybody's favorite X-Men character. Just kidding. And Peter Dinklage from Game of Thrones is the creator of the Sentinels. Bolivar Trask. Damn, Peter Dinklage is entertaining. Game of Thrones, he's great on that. He's great in this movie. This movie's pretty kick-ass. I gotta say, I think I like Captain America: The Winter Soldier more. That movie, I felt I had more of an emotional attachment to the characters of that one. But I still really enjoyed this movie. Mystique was awesome. She was probably my favorite character in this. Definitely the best appearance of Mystique. I gotta be honest, Mystique wasn't my favorite character in the original trilogy. Mostly because she was a pretty simple villain that could change form. But Mystique, they really, delve deeper into, into her character, make her a more multi-dimensional character. So that's good. I mean, it's crazy what we got in this movie. Magneto, he's freaking old and a good guy in the future, but then he's an asshole in the 70s. So lots of good stuff. Wolverine is sent back in time into his 70s counterpart's head by Kitty Pryde. What the hell is going on with this story? What the hell? Hey, it makes sense as far as the other X-Men movies go. It's not any crazier than that shit. So anyway, if I had a complaint, the Sentinels in the future look kind of, I don't know, not that cool. I don't think the future Sentinels look so great. The 70s ones looked okay, I guess. They looked more like the actual Sentinels from the comics. I mostly know about the Sentinels and like X-Men from the cartoons and stuff, but yeah. But I always thought the Sentinels were kind of cool and kind of had this eeriness to them. So it's kind of cool to finally see the Sentinels in a movie. Well, they did have like a little cameo in X-Men 3. That was a simulation. That sucked. That movie sucked. X-Men 3 was one of the worst movies I've ever seen. So anyway, let me get my rating. 9 out of 10. Okay, it's a really fun movie. Good performances from almost the entire cast, I'd say. Spoiler time. It fixes. I cannot believe it fixes the shit storm that followed X-Men 3. Every X-Men movie that followed X-Men 3 had this like this eeriness to it, like, man, we still messed up. X-Men 3 was a pile of shit. How do we fix this shit? Oh, time travel. That J.J. Abrams might know a few things about that. Even though the old Star Trek universe was better. But anyway, no, this is good. Freaking, did I say spoiler section already? Cyclops is alive again. Holy shit! Of all the characters to ever die in a movie, not just comic book movies, movies in general, Cyclops has my vote for the worst death ever. And they brought him back. I'm glad, because it was so lame. Cyclops is a great character. Maybe kind of underused in the movies, but Cyclops has a lot of potential to almost be like a Captain America of the X-Men. So I'm glad that they brought him back. Obviously for future movies. That's cool. Jean Grey's back after her Dark Phoenix saga business. So I guess that never happened. Basically, X-Men 3 never happened. Phew. Glad that movie doesn't exist anymore. Oh, wait, it does. I mean, I kind of have to wait 8 years for this movie, which is basically what X-Men 3 should have been. Not a pile of shit. But really, this is the best X-Men movie ever. Kelsey Grammer's back as Beast. I gotta be honest, I didn't really care I mean, I like Beast, but like, I was never like a huge Kelsey Grammer as Beast fan, but he's alright. He only has like 10 seconds, but of screen time. Did they ever explain why Xavier's alive again? Because didn't he die in X-Men 3? Gosh, I don't even care. X-Men 3 was just such a pile of shit. I'm glad they erased that movie from continuity. That movie was so bad. Oh my gosh. What else is different? Rogue. I don't know if Rogue has her powers. I would think yes, cause she got rid of them during what would have been the Dark Phoenix saga, which was X-Men 3. So I think Rogue has her powers again. Good, because that was one of the shittiest things I've ever seen. One of the shittiest movie endings. Everybody loses their powers or dies, or their name is Wolverine or Storm. That movie sucked. Magneto lost his. I don't think they explained why Magneto had his powers again. Who cares? That movie sucked. I don't know. It's good. It's good. That scene, you can kind of see part of it in the trailer where Magneto's like dragging Mystique. That was a creepy ass scene. I gotta admit,